If you're going to go see this movie, you're going to need tissues. So Monster Calls is directed by J.A. Bayona, and it stars Louis McDougall, Sigourney Weaver, Felicity Jones, Toby Kebbell, and Liam Neeson as the monster. So the story is about this little boy whose mom is dying of cancer. His parents are divorced and his dad is living in North America. And it's about how he's trying to cope with his mother's illness along with all the other issues in his life. So in order to get over all of his issues, he conjures up this imaginary friend, this tree monster, which is just referred to as the monster in the movie, voiced as Liam Neeson. And now we have our story in the movie. This is the kind of movie you have to be in the mood for. It's pretty emotional and heavy, so if you're in the mood for something lighter, maybe go check out something lighter. But if this is the movie you're feeling for, I definitely recommend going to check it out. I thought it was just amazing. All the performances in this movie are just excellent. Louis McDougall, who plays the little boy Connor, I think this is the first movie he's ever been in, so great job for him. The director got an excellent performance out of this kid. You just feel for him the entire movie, all the stuff that he's going through, all the emotions that he feels. It's very well conveyed through this young man's performance. Sigourney Weaver plays his grandmother, and I thought that her English accent, it threw me off a little bit, but I soon got used to it, and it didn't really bother me for the rest of the movie, so that's not a bad thing at all. Felicity Jones just tears your heart out in this movie. She is so good as the mother who is dying of cancer. It's just so emotional and impactful. Ugh. I'm a big fan of Toby Kebbell, so him being in this movie is a big plus for me. Even though he's not in the movie a ton, when he is in the movie, I really enjoy the scenes that he's in, and he plays his character very well. Liam Neeson, who voices the monster, he does a really great job. I'm not sure if he did any voice capture for the movie or not. I don't think so. But his voice was perfect for the monster. It fit right into the rest of the movie. It wasn't something that jarred me. Like, oh, that's Liam Neeson. Nope, that's the monster. And that's what he sounds like, and it just is great. So like I said earlier, the movie is very emotional, but the story is not how I expected it would play out. I'm not going to get into it really deep so that if you go check out the movie, which you definitely should, you can be surprised by how it takes its turns as well, unless you've read the book, in which case you know what's going to happen. The movie is very engaging. Like, it had me in right from the beginning, and the movie's less than 2 hours, but I could have easily gone for another 20 minutes of this movie, wanting to see more of what happens in the story, finding out where things go from how it ends to how they progress on. What happens next is what I would like to see. I thought the visual effects for the monster were excellent. I thought they worked really, really well, especially when the scenes where the boy and the monster are right next to each other. I thought it looked very photorealistic, and it's something that easily could have looked really cartoony, but it didn't, and I'm really happy about that. They do some other interesting story visual stuff throughout the movie that I'm not going to get into because I was really surprised by it, and I want you to be surprised by it as well. But it's something that when you see, you're like, oh, I didn't expect that, but it really, really works. And it's something that is definitely a plus for me in the movie. Now, this next thing is something I don't talk about often when it comes to movies, but the sound design in A Monster Calls is excellent. It's not often that I talk about sound design. I think the last movie that I noticed it enough to talk about it was Whiplash in 2014. So because the sound in the movie is so prominent, I think it's definitely going to be nominated for the Oscar and probably even win. As far as negatives for this movie go, the only really injustice that I see that was done to this movie was that it was marketed kind of poorly. I've talked to a lot of people about this movie, and a lot of them have no idea what it's about. They look at the poster and they think that it's a thriller horror movie about a monster terrorizing a kid, and that's not what it's about at all. It's like a fantasy drama. I think the marketing team could have done a better job in demonstrating what the movie's actually about, and I think that's part of why the movie's not making much money right now. But it definitely deserves to make more money than it is, so please get in your cars, go try and check out this movie. It really is fantastic. It's not playing in a lot of theaters, but try and find one near you that's playing it, and please go check it out. This movie deserves every penny that it gets. So I thought all around A Monster Calls was an excellent movie, and I say that it is definitely top-notch. So thanks for checking out my review. You can comment below, let me know what you thought of A Monster Calls, let me know what you thought of this review. You can give me a subscription if you haven't done so already, and if you've got nothing else to do, go watch more movies.